Let's dive deep into 1 Thessalonians 4:13-18 and unpack it based on historical context, first-century Jewish customs, audience relevance, and why these events already happened, rather than pointing to a future rapture event. 1 Thessalonians 4:13-18, summary. This is often used by modern church theology to support the rapture doctrine. Let's read it in context and unpack the real meaning based on audience relevance and first-century events. But we do not want you to be uninformed, brothers, about those who are asleep, that you may not grieve as others do who have no hope. For since we believe that Jesus died and rose again, even so, through Jesus, God will bring with him those who have fallen asleep. TPT, or any translation. 1. Historical date and time. Written around AD 50 to 51. Paul is addressing the church in Thessalonica, a new group of believers who were anxiously concerned that those who had died, believers, would miss the second coming of Christ. This is before the destruction of Jerusalem in AD 70, which is key to understanding its first-century fulfillment. 2. Audience relevance, not us. Paul is writing to them, not us. We who are alive and remain until the coming of the Lord, v15. Paul includes himself in the expectation. He wasn't talking about something that would happen 2,000 plus years later. Paul was comforting them about an event they would witness in their lifetime. 3. Jewish wedding custom imagery. This is loaded with first-century Jewish wedding language, not modern rapture theology. Jewish wedding steps paralleled here. 1. Betrothal. Engagement. Already happened spiritually through faith in Jesus. 2. Bridegroom goes away to prepare a place. Jesus said, I go to prepare a place for you. John 14:2-3. 3. Bridegroom returns with a shout, trumpet, and voice. Exactly what 1 Thessalonians 4:16 describes. 4. The bride is caught up, goes out to meet him. Greek, apantesis. A term meaning to go out to greet a royal figure and escort him back into the city. This shows that the catching up wasn't about leaving Earth, but about meeting the king and ushering him into his kingdom. 4. The Greek word apantesis, used only 3 times in the New Testament. Matt 25:6, Acts 28:15, 1 Thess 4:17. Always means go out to meet someone and return with them. It's not an escape plan, it's a welcoming party. So when Paul says, caught up to meet the Lord in the air, it's about escorting Jesus into his new reign, just like people did with kings or Roman generals. 5. Fulfilled in AD 70. The parousia, coming of the Lord. Jesus promised his return would be in this generation. Matthew 24:34. The destruction of Jerusalem in AD 70 was the judgment and coming of the Son of Man, Matthew 24:29-30. The trumpet, shout, and coming of the Lord are all apocalyptic metaphors used in the OT and NT for divine judgment and the transition of the covenant. In AD 70, the old covenant system, temple, priesthood, sacrifices, was destroyed, and the new covenant was fully established and revealed. That was the coming of the kingdom, not the end of the world. 6. Not a physical resurrection or escape to heaven. Those asleep refers to the faithful who had died before this event. In ancient Jewish belief, the resurrection was the vindication of the righteous, not digging up dead bodies, but spiritual transformation and fulfillment. The air, Greek aer, symbolized the spiritual realm and authority, the realm between heaven and earth. Summary of why this was already fulfilled. Paul expected this event in his generation. The language is apocalyptic and symbolic, not literal, rooted in Jewish wedding customs and royal welcomes fulfilled in AD 70 with the fall of Jerusalem. The dead were vindicated. The living were transformed into the new covenant age. There's no physical rapture in this context. Final thoughts. This passage is not about escaping earth, but about heaven coming to earth, the transformation of the old system and the revealing of the sons of God walking in authority. The real catching up is about us realizing we are seated in heavenly places, reigning with Christ now. For more videos like this, please see David and Christy Portillo and Mike Parsons' videos on YouTube. See you soon.